Stars, this is G. And yeah, the recent events, I got to take a look at this Hollywood stars chart. We are all stars, but this is a Hollywood star. The stuff with the Academy Awards came up that couldn't go to sleep, blah, blah, blah. It was late. I don't know. I've just always been a huge fan as much as I could be a huge fan of somebody. You know, someone who doesn't watch a whole lot of movies, no TV, nothing. Everybody knows by now what happened. And if you don't, I'll fill you in, but I'm going to take a sort of a deep dive into his chart. I'm going to feel really thirsty to learn. That is the reason I'm doing this. I don't believe in talking about people, but Will put himself on the world stage. He made that choice a long time ago, but he did it in a different way. And so we're seeing him in a different light. And we're going to find out why. What's behind all that? What's going on up there? So let's get into this. Let's not wait another second. Let me do that and let you guys see what I am looking at. But he's got a moon in Scorpio. So the moon in Scorpio, the moon is your emotions and your family. Remember, Scorpio is it's a very powerful, intense energy because it's got Mars and Pluto as its ruler. Powerful, deep, intense, lots of history. Soul history. The moon, also about history, also about family. The moon normally signifies female energy. 21 degrees, right? There's a lot of other things, but we're not going to talk about those so much, although he does have his Juno in Scorpio at 15 degrees. So we'll just talk about those two things. Oh, what the hell? We'll talk about Sirius as well. Sirius is your food. It's also what nurtures you or who nurtures you. Scorpio energy is a fixed energy. Very powerful. Remember, it's that you don't want to go to war with the Scorpio because Mars and Pluto they got them on their team. You don't want to go up against them. So Scorpio, Mars, born for war. Scorpio is about our shared values. It's our shared energy. It's our shared money, right? This can represent your inheritances. It's also these ancestral wounds, all ancestral history together. Absolutely. If you believe in past lives, if you believe in alternate realities, this is all about your soul tribe. Absolutely. So it's like he's got stuff at 15, 19, and 21. Just for the sake of this video, we'll try to keep this short. But look where the moon's nodes are. The transiting moon node, it's getting close. These go backwards. It's getting close. It's bearing down on his natal moon. This is a south node. It's something we're letting go. It's an emotional attachment of some sort, possibly some folks, but it is a shared value, letting go of a shared value. The node is coming upon the moon, right? Moon is what nurtures you along with Sirius. But with all this stuff up here, in Aquarian energy, Aquarian can be shocks and surprises. And we saw that on the night of the Academy Awards. So if you don't know the story, I'll pick that up here. Before he actually won the Best Actor Award, moments before, Chris Rock was, all these Hollywood folks, Chris Rock was making an announcement because I believe he was the host of the evening. And he, like comedian hosts do, that's their job, to constantly be able to improvise and make jokes. Well, he made a comment, he made a compliment to Will Smith and then Will Smith's wife, Jada. He said something about Jada, and he made an ill reference. It was a joke, but I feel as I watched it, it was an ill reference to the G.I. Jane Part 2, right? So if you don't know G.I. Jane, the first G.I. Jane Part 1, I'm so bad. But anyway, tell me below what her name was who did the G.I. Jane Part 1. Anyway, a military movie. She had to shave her head, that whole thing. Well, Jada's hair, because she has, I'm not sure of the disease or what the thing is. I forget. I've seen it. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll put it below the video. Anyhow, apparently it causes hair loss. So Chris Rock kind of made a mistake in using her as the butt of a joke for a G.I. Jane movie because of this. It's like, anyway, very sore spot. And so it was kind of just not done real well on Chris Rock's part. Okay. But he is a comedian. Get it. But Will, you've got the shocks and surprises. Will stood up after Chris Rock made this reference in a joke. Will just got right up and walked straight up to Chris Rock, which wasn't far, but he just slapped the crap out of him. And Chris Rock was like stunned. Without a doubt, stunned. It was not an act of any kind. If you haven't seen it, check it out. This is all about that. It's Mars in Aquarius. Remember, Mars is the fighter, right? And Mars rules Scorpio. Well, Mars is squaring his Juno. Do you see that? His Juno's at 1520, right? So the moon, look at the moon. Like everything was squaring his Scorpio energy. The moon's at 15 squaring it. Mars is at 16, which means there was probably some combativeness, possibly, hours before and days before. Absolutely, because this all would have been squaring. Mars is not a fast mover, not like the moon. Then we got Venus, who you love, what you love, friends and group energy. Remember, this is his 10th house, though. So the crowd, his like yeah, this is his domain, man. It trines his ascendant. This is all very powerful. It explains why he's just Mr. Box Office. Absolutely, great personality. There's a whole lot of tons of really interesting things in his charts that maybe we'll spend on the Starry Night Live. We'll go deeper, but the moon, Mars, Venus, Juno, and Saturn all squaring his Juno, his Sirius, his moon, okay, all squaring it, all of them. Not to mention what was going on over in Aries. Now, why do I ask that question? Because I know that Aries just went into, I'm sorry, Mercury. What's going on with Mercury in Aries? Mercury just went into Aries the day before, right? Which means when you've got Mercury stepping into the sign of Aries, Aries is ruled by Mars. It's all about put up your dukes, let's fight. You said some cross words, and that's what Mercury is. It's combative communication, right? But because it's in Aries, Aries is, I'm going to take action with that. I'm going to show you by my action, right? Actions, combative communications. Somebody talks some crap, you're just going to get up and take care of business. Mercury in Aries on his Chiron at 0 degrees. His Chiron, folks, just in case you all aren't aware, Chiron is your deepest emotional wound. It's about appearances, about things that you care about, those you care about, caring deeply about someone in a relationship that you're married to. This Chiron is conjunct his Hygeia, which is health of your wounds, health of your appearances. And look at that. It opposes his sun at 3 degrees in Libra. And this Mercury was conjunct all of that. So it's another intensification on his partner. Somebody was making fun of his partner, his wife. There's a lot of people speculating about some other deep stuff going on, and I haven't looked at his wife's chart. I haven't even gone that route. Again, I don't like to talk about people at all. It's not worth my time. But Will has made his business astrology's business. And so if you make it astrology's business, it's my job to use these wonderful examples for us to learn. They're easy lessons. Hard lesson for him, easy lesson for us. Emotional wounds about our body. I also wanted to add that his Chiron being at this 0 degrees is the Aries point. And in astrology, the 4 cardinal points are the Aries points, right? The cardinal points. Well, an Aries point, it is the kickoff, the initiation point for the world, basically. For this galaxy that we live in. It is the Aries point, which is the beginning of the beginning. And his wound, which is Chiron, his deepest emotional wound, is on that point, which means it makes it very powerful. Not to mention it's at 0 degrees, which is another layer of intense and powerful, right? And sporadic action and just bam, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And that's what Will did that night. Wham, bam, thank you, man. He slapped him and he walked away unapologetically. Later on, moments later, when he accepted the Academy Award, there were tears. There was no apology to Chris because he was not. You could see he was thinking. You could see he was really thinking before he spoke as he accepted that award, and it took him a while. But because he had to, I think there was a lot of shock and surprise for himself as to what he had just done, and the magnitude, the scale, the stage, the world was watching. All eyes on him. The example as a father he was setting, and so. I think this is something that will definitely haunt him just because the deep emotions. He has deep emotions that he's going to carry, that he can hide. He's got the moon in Scorpio, not to mention the nodes are going to be bearing down on him. Remember, his nodes are in Aries and Libra, okay, because it shows his north node at 937 in Aries. And look, the sun was conjunct his north node. This was his time to be independent, to step out of the relationship and to show that he can exist as a strong, solid individual, be part of that relationship, but also understand that what he's done with his career, that's equally as important. And he needs to take care of that too, as well, right? But when you have a North Node in Aries, okay, you have this, your superpower is your South Node in Aries. I'm sorry, your South Node in Libra. And your South Node in Libra means you will make sacrifices for your partners. This is your superpower. You're used to it. You're used to taking a back seat and allowing that person, supporting them, allowing them to be in the spotlight. Well, in this time around in his life, his chart, when he came in, he's taking the spotlight as well, right? He's got a partner where they both are in the spotlight. He's just got a magnetic, wonderful, beautiful Venus personality. Venus, right? Venus rules his South Node. And so you see it in the way that he speaks, the way that he dresses, the way that he presents himself all the time, except this one time. The sun is an authority figure in your life, right? Yes, the sun is your parent or somebody who's an authority in some way. And he made reference to his mother that night in that acceptance speech. But after, I can't get out of my mind seeing the look in Jada's eyes, the daggers that shot out of her eyes at Chris Rock when he made the comment that he made. And Will was laughing it up. Will thought it was funny too. But, I'm not sure what kind of looks she shot at Will once he was laughing it up because, it had to make her feel, she probably didn't feel real good seeing her husband laughing. But at the same time, either way, no judgments from me. I'm just the astrologer who's taking a look at the authority person in Aries. It's all about the wounds, the appearances of our wounds, of our body. This is a big theme for the coming new moon, which is days away from this event. And he has a 937 node there. The North Node means you're supposed to step outside of the relationship and you're supposed to be able to stand strong, solid ground, and have a healthy interdependent relationship. So he just got kind of caught. That's the truth. He just got kind of caught in a spot, and it was all about, he even made a reference to it. He said that Denzel said that when you get to that high point in your career, that's when the devil comes for you. And Will mentioned it right then that night. He immediately understood the connection. He immediately understood the repercussions and the consequences that are likely to follow. But at the end of the day, he didn't apologize for his actions, which is interesting. And I'm not saying he should or shouldn't have. Again, this is just me reading what is. So your North Node in Aries, very difficult energy to handle because you have your superpower, which is always supporting your partner. And because of that superpower, because his ability to make sure at the end of the day, he's going to show that he supports his partner. Because let's not forget, all this air energy up here, all of his Libran energy, he's got a buttload in Libra. His sun, 3 degrees in Libra, right? His South Node in Libra, his Pallas Athena at 28, his Mercury at 28, his Venus critical 29 degrees, an extreme critical degree of make this work, buddy. Make this work at all costs. And that's, wow, at all costs. I don't doubt that they have soul history and that's really what's going on. We all talk about the personalities and the play that we see happening, the movie that we see happening in real life, the show must go on type of thing. But when you have all this in Scorpio and the moon in Scorpio, this is definitely a finishing up some business from a previous lifetime. And agreements and contracts, without a doubt. Looking at all this stuff in Libran energy, this is why he's steadfast to what he did. He stood up for his wife. I have no doubt that he's thinking to himself right now, man, Will, you could have just walked up there and demanded an apology from the man in front of the entire world. And then Chris Rock would have likely given Jada the apology, would have said, you know what, I wasn't thinking. My comedian tongue just kind of took control and it was in bad taste. And I apologize, sister. I meant no offense. And the world would have respected Will. The world would have respected Chris Rock. And at the end of the day, it would have been the Libran way, the 29-degree test of Libra and Libra coming out shining like a star. At the end of the day, we are all stars. The difference is when we let the stardom get the best of us and we think we're the only star.